Hey guys, Showglow here. Amongst many things that we have been told, two of them I wish to talk about with you right now. The first one being that we are told that we live on a spinning ball drifting through space which curves at 8 inches per mile. The other thing I wish to discuss is World War I. Well, more specifically, the massive gun used in World War I. And the reason I want to talk about that is because both these stories don't really match up together. Be sure to question everything, even the events relayed to us about the war. I have learnt to not trust anything the government has to say. You will hear me state things in this video, but bear in mind, I am simply regurgitating what our history books have told us. I trust none of it. I'm just comparing two events that our rulers have told us to be true, and I'm trying to show you how those stories do not match up. The Paris gun, or the Kaiser Wilhelm Geschütz, as I think it's pronounced in German, it's the name that was given to a type of German long-range siege gun, several of which were used to attack Paris during World War I. They were mostly used in 1918, and when the guns were first employed, Parisians believed that they had been bombed by a high-altitude Zeppelin, as the sound of neither an aeroplane nor a gun could be heard. That tells you just how far away they fired them from. It was able to be fired from a maximum distance of 81 miles. The bullets were shot into the Earth's stratosphere up to 42 kilometers from the ground, and all of this was done apparently at the speed of 1,640 meters per second. Yes, I will repeat that again. This was back in 1918. That's nearly 100 years ago. We are told the Earth curves at 8 inches per mile, and this attack was from a distance of a massive 81 miles away. That is 648 inches of curvature to accommodate for. That converts into 16.5 meters below the horizon. I will assume, based on this photograph, that the height of the Paris gun is the equivalent of 2 average height men, since you can see some men in the photograph as a reference point. The average height of a man is 1.7 meters, so I'll double that for 2 men, since how it appears here. So the calculations are as follows. The barrel of the gun, pointed straight, is at 3.4 meters tall from the ground. It shoots up to 81 miles away. Earth curves at 8 inches per mile, and the target is positioned at 648 inches, or 16.5 meters below the horizon. In order to fire successfully and repeatedly, striking a city from such a magnificent distance, even with a gun firing at an azimuth of 232 degrees, it seems a tad outlandish, don't you think? The higher the projectile travels, the less dense the atmosphere gets, and the cartridge will pick up speed. An alternating speed mid-flight over such a vast distance would make it very difficult to predict and accurately anticipate its landing without the aid of modern-day technology. They were faced with their target at over 16 meters under the horizon. That is, if you believe in the globe Earth model. They would not have even been able to visually see their target, not even with powerful binoculars or telescopes. The ammunition shells did not have motors or homing devices on them to guide them to their targets. They were just regular plain steel shells. At this point, you may be wondering how the Paris guns can tie into a conversation about the shape of our Earth. Well, this is how. If these guys, 100 years ago, were supposedly able to target and shoot at buildings with a 106 kilo hunk of steel, yes, that is the weight of the ammunition, and without modern day technology or visual contact around the Earth's curve, with a height of 16 meters, firing straight up into the stratosphere before arriving at its final destination as to not wipe out everything else in between, Explain to me why they are apparently still struggling to figure out how to protect Earth from its impending doom from asteroid impacts. Yes, that's right. One of NASA's major problems that they are still struggling to overcome is how to protect Earth from its destruction from huge projectiles in outer space. The government can blow up a needle in a haystack 81 miles away while passing through the stratosphere, yet extinction via an impending asteroid impact is of some concern. The truth is, the real concern is not humanity being wiped out by an asteroid. The concern is for the elites and their powers being stripped away by everybody else simply discovering the truth. The more people that wake up, the weaker our controllers get. And that is our biggest weapon: truth. No one was born knowing everything. In fact, no one was born really knowing anything. Sure, we were born with human instincts, but pretty much everything else was taught to us, or we picked it up ourselves along the way. It would be wrong to assume that everything that we have ever been taught is correct. Please, I beg of you, look into the flat earth research that so many people have put up for you on YouTube and online and in books. This is not a psyop. We are trying to unravel the lies that we have all been told. NASA gets paid to lie to you. They have an agenda. However, flat earth researchers get paid absolutely nothing. They are regular people, just like you and me, your neighbours, your brothers, your sisters, your children, your parents, your school teachers. These are people that are just waking up and looking into this for themselves. What would so many people have to gain by spending their free time waking others up? We are teased and ridiculed by our friends and family and strangers, yet for some reason we have not given up. That's because we know it's the truth and it is important. Does that not at least tell you that it might be worth looking into this topic further for yourself? Please, all we ask is for you to open your eyes and just look into this for yourself. The flat earth model is real. This is so much more than the shape of our earth. We are just uncovering one huge lie that links so many other lies. The globe earth model is just one of several motherships. It is not the only ship, but you can be sure it is a big one, and you are being sucked up its tractor beam. Thank you for watching. God bless.